Hi everyone, this is Men's here. I'm playing the premium Russian tank destroyer, the SU-85I. Now this tank does get preferential matchmaking, which I'm seeing the tier 6s that it sees for its max tier. So that's kind of a downer, but it definitely needs it only because it doesn't have too much going for it. It's okay in just about everything, but doesn't have a ton of HP. Its gun isn't the most responsive and the best. Doesn't have the most mobility, but the mobility is okay, and traverse is pretty good as well. So basically, it's not good at anything, but it doesn't suck at anything either. So it's really hard to judge this tank only because it's kind of boring per se, but at the same time, it's not exactly a bad tank. So, jury's still out, at least for my opinion, and because if it didn't have the preferential matchmaking, this would be a pretty bad tank, but since you only see tier 6s, it makes it okay. But pretty much playing this tank, you want to stay a little bit further back than you might in other tanks, only because you are very frail, and even though the gun doesn't have good accuracy, shell velocity, and doesn't have too much penetration either, you still don't want to get too close only because you can die very quickly. Now I'm actually going to hang out with this Hellcat. Let's see if I can't hide behind this bush. Get one shot off and then back up. I have no fucking idea why our heavies are back there. Definitely gonna need those premium rounds for him. Yeah, looks like he moved. Okay, ARL down. I can damage him. So in matches like this where you can sit back and just shoot, then you do pretty good. Now I'm actually gonna move back to help out the KV-1. But I should stay in this corner. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. I guess heard a shot from somewhere. What the fuck am I being shot at from? He is aiming at me. And I'm dead. Yeah, I kind of made a mistake there. I didn't react soon enough, but I didn't think the M6 saw me, and I knew the Crusader couldn't spot me alone, but that was my bad. It just goes to show this tank, that M6 shot me once, and I was just almost dead. And by then the Crusader could easily finish me off before I could react. I could have probably pushed forward and dodged them, but at the same time, you really just can't. Wow, this guy is... Like, what the fuck? He literally just passed up, killing the T-28. Well, anyway, back to the SU-85I. The V range on it is abysmal. I think it's 330. I'll have to check after this battle again. But it's not good at all. So you basically have no HP, no armor, and no V range. So that makes you almost entirely dependent on your team, unless if you're one of the only tier 5s. And even then, tier 4s can still tear you up and out V range you. So it's really a tank that it does have good matchmaking, and the gun on it is okay when the accuracy and the penetration doesn't come up against heavy armored tanks like tier 6s and some of the 5s like KV-1s at long range. So the gun can be good at times, but even though it has those positives, it still is a tank that struggles to find any kind of solid positive aside from the matchmaking to make it be a enticing purchase. But it's just really hard to review this tank, since usually a tank you can say this is good about this tank and this is bad, but with this tank it's just kind of, it's all in the middle. So this might be a good tank for you, especially if you like Russian tank destroyers, but for the average person, especially with it just being a tier 5 premium, there are other tier 5 premiums out there that provide a bit better gameplay and a little bit more fun, in my opinion, than the SU-85I. And this is a very boring ending to this match, but good job to that Hellcat. So overall I did just under 1400 damage. I spotted for a bit, hit most of my shots, but then again I got a little bit lucky on some of them. And I damaged 6 tanks, which is fairly useful, especially since the Hellcat kind of mopped them all up. But with that, I did have to use a bit of APCR, since I did face that ARL, which I couldn't penetrate with AP even though I was a bit higher than him. So that really eats into your profit. But as you see here, it's it. I didn't want to click that. The AP shell is pretty cheap at 109 credits, but the APCR really is expensive for the amount of damage you're doing. And as far as equipment goes, I do have a rammer to improve the gun a bit more. And then the other things I'm going to equip is definitely coated optics, because 330 meters for the V range sucks. And then I'm going to put vents on there just to help the gun and the V range a bit more. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, wotguru.com.